What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the 1894. We're talking. We can finally make somewhat of an analysis now that we've got a little taste of what this brand new £51 million man Erling Haaland can offer us. It's been so long since he's been announced, since we've been waiting for this. We watched the first match. He wasn't involved. He was sat there in Air Force, and we were crying. Me and Joe were in the call. We were crying while it was going on. But he got 40 minutes against Bayern Munich, and that 40 minutes. Is it enough to look at overall what he's going to offer? No, but we're going to do it anyway because Erling Haaland. So basically, first thing we're going to talk about straight away is we have finally seen a number 9 score a goal for Manchester City. It feels like it's been, about 3 years now?
That's something like that. It's too long.
It's been way too long, but we've finally seen a number 9 throw himself at the ball in the box. I think this has to be the first thing we go about, but Joe, how relieved were you to finally see a goal, a ball that was going across the goal and finally be put in by someone, something we haven't seen again in about 3 years?
Relieved. I am a stress-free man. Finally. God, I've seen a ball travel across the 6-yard box that hasn't gone out for a throw-in. Jesus Christ, it feels like Christmas. Mother of God, we've waited so long for this. I've said this, and I've used this analogy before. It's like a bus. We waited for one striker, and we've ended up with 2. Now, albeit only one of them scored, but the other one looked pretty good as well. But this is about our big what was it? A Nordic meat shield. That's what he called him. Yeah, 6'5".
He's a nice guy.
6'5" because he was 6'4", and he still grew another inch, which is absolutely insane. Yeah, totally. 40 minutes more than I think most of us expected. Most of us maybe expected like 10 minutes at the end of the Bayern Munich game, if that, after the Club America game, if that. Like, we were told that he was put on an individual training program to make sure he was fit for the opening game of the Premier League season. Not Liverpool, not the Community Shield, just the opening game of the Premier League season, which tells you our priorities, really, doesn't it? The Community Shield really for us is just a third pre-season friendly, but we win it. It's a trophy. I'm sure Liverpool will feel the same. But no, I'm encouraged. I'm really happy that the dark days are over. We've done it. 50 million, and he scored within 12 minutes. Now, again, we can hype him up as much as we want. We can analyse this like he's going to play like this every single game. It's 40 minutes, and again, like, he's not fully match fit at all. I doubt whether he was fully fit. It was just to get some minutes in the legs. But again, like, he scored. He scored a goal. He's had one chance. He scored a goal. Like, I think he had another couple where possibly maybe a fully fit, maybe a more match fit Haaland would have maybe scored, or maybe at least had a shot. I think there was one where he tried to pass it. But no, I mean, that's the positions that we want someone to be taking up. That's the positions that we haven't had someone taking up for like 2 years now. So it's good to see that, and someone willing to throw themselves at the ball to get it across the line. And it gives a new lease of life to players like Grealish in his second season, who, while we're expecting a big leap in his performances due to it being his second season, like, it's only going to help him having someone who he can, hit in the box, whether it be from a cross or drilling it across the 6-yard box or cutting it back or whatever. It's good to just him to have someone there, because that's just going to help him. That's going to help his confidence and make us play better as a team. Yeah,
there's a couple of categories we have to look into. First of all, we have to talk about how seamlessly fit in. Obviously, going from a team that haven't played with number 9 for the last 3 years, having one in there, obviously, it must feel like a shock to the system. Let's be honest, a whole new style of playing, but he's fitting so seamlessly there. I thought, now obviously, his link-up did leave a bit to be desired, but again, you get 3 or 4 more matches into him, he'll be fine. It looked there that he was getting into those positions where players were either not used to cutting it back or not used to someone being there to cut it back. Once it's blooded into them, drained into them, it's only gonna open up more. But still, the seamless transition from not having a number 9 to having him in there was unbelievable. I think that's kind of what Joe touched on there. But the effect that he's having on the players' morale, it seems like he's fit in absolutely brilliant. We saw a lot of videos on Be It Grealish's story. I think City have done a couple of things as well where he's really fitting in. Like, the squad morale is fucking through the roof at the minute, and you can see it in how they're playing. They're all linking up so well. It's like, again, it's like we didn't take a break. A lot of players have been so sharp, but a lot of players it's like they're hanging around together every day in between that summer transition now. It's so good to see. It's so good to see a happy team together, and it's only going to translate onto more results in the pitch, you'd think, realistically.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've beat Bayern Munich 1-0. I know it's pre-season, and like again, you can't really read too much into pre-season, but that's exactly what we were saying last season. He's not going to come in and make us get 110 points. He's not going to come in and get us a Champions League. He's not going to come in and make sure we go unbeaten. He's going to come in and he's going to turn 0-0s and 1-1s and 1-0s into sort of 2-0s, 2-1s, that sort of thing. And he did that. He scored the goal. We won 1-0. Again, it's pre-season, but if we didn't have him, if we didn't have a striker, if we didn't have him or Alvarez on the pitch, probably 0-0. Like, I don't really see us scoring. We didn't really create much else, like any other opportunities. So again, like, it doesn't mean anything because we don't get points or anything. I think we got a trophy because for some reason they had those at pre-season. But no, like, it's that sort of thing that we've been asking for ages, which is we're not asking for someone to come in and take our performances up to a new level. We're asking for someone to come in and bring our results up to a new level. Those results that are slightly disappointing and underwhelming. When we draw 0-0 against Crystal Palace away, he could turn that into a 1-0 maybe, something like that. And he did that against Bayern Munich. Again, all he needed was 12 minutes and he scored a goal. But you know, I'm looking forward to how he gets on with more minutes under his belt, because that is where it really starts. If he scored within 12 minutes and he looked pretty good. Like I remember at one point he hit an outside of the boot pass to Mahrez, and it was an accurate pass as well. I'm like, what is going on?
You put a text in the group chat when it happened. You couldn't believe it.
I couldn't believe it. I didn't know he had the facilities. But like, again, he gets, I don't know, maybe he plays like 60 minutes against Liverpool or something, and then maybe another 60 against West Ham. You're looking at, you know, Bournemouth. He might be able to play the full game, because no disrespect to Bournemouth, but they are, you know, recently promoted. We are at home. You'd expect him to be able to complete a full game, maybe get a goal, maybe get 2 goals, and then he just kicks on from there. That's sort of the progression that I'm looking at, where he plays sort of like an hour, and then he ups it to 75, and then he ups it to 90, and then that's when it starts, you know, it becomes natural to him and he properly embeds with his team. Because if we talk about how seamless he fit in, if this is him without any adaptation, imagine if there is like a little bit of adaptation to go, like whether it's relationships with other players or whether it's just movement inside the box, where he should expect the ball to come, where others should expect him to be to put the ball there. Like, we could be in for a real treat if this is only the beginning. But just to talk on the beginning, it's very, very promising. I mean, I think Sky came out today and said he was very popular in the dressing room. We know his relationship with Grealish. When he was sat on the bench against Club America, he was smiling every time he got snapped and every time he was fighting, and they seem to have a really, really good connection. And I think he came out in an interview after the game against Bayern and started speaking on his relationship with Grealish. I can't remember exactly what he said, but again, like, it's only good having these relationships with the other players in the squad early on, because it's going to help him just fit into the squad.
Exactly. It's going to be, I think what he said earlier is actually funny enough. He said Grealish needs to be better and I need to be better. I think that's from the 2 boys who linked up on the goal. If they think they can be better, if they think they're going to be better, if they think they have to be better, it's going to probably get a little bit better just purely by guesswork. But the last kind of thing I want to touch on is how different, I want to say how different the style of play was, because we've seen the kind of play before. But the part that really caught me out, we talked about it in the last video when it came to Ake, the long balls that were going over the top to him and like to the support wingers, but mainly to him, were brilliant. Like, it was really, it's added kind of a new kind of, would you call it facility? It wouldn't be a facility, a new kind of style where we can, it's another route one, we can go route one now that we have that kind of, that presence up front. And that's a whole new world of starting attacks, maybe even better at going counter-attacking as well. It can open up better counter-attacking scenarios for us, which we've been lacking in the last few seasons. It's having a player like this. Again, I know this isn't just for Haaland, this is kind of for Alvarez as well, because it was happening with him. Long passes going up the pitch can carve open a defence like that, especially in the Premier League when we have teams like Liverpool play a high line who can get caught out. We saw them get caught out 7 times against Villa when they played the worst high line I've ever seen. If they play like that again, those kind of passes can cut them open. It's such a useful thing to be able to do now with him there. And again, it's changing. It's making slight modifications to how we can play, but still open up whole new facets that we can be happy with. And again, having him there takes a defender off an extra midfielder that we would have usually had, which means Cancelo can move up, which means if Walker wants to, Walker can move up. It's so useful having such a dangerous presence there, because it opens up new facets and new places for people to run in behind. You're going to see a new City. Like, you are going to see a new style of City's play, but you're going to see maybe not a more fluid, obviously not a more fluid side, but you could see one that brings out better results. Again, turning 0-0s into 1-0s, 1-1s into 2-1s, etc. That kind of shit that we've been fuming for the last couple of seasons when we always just never be able to beat Palace or Southampton. This could be the tide turning event. This 51 million quid signing could be the difference in 9 or 10 points. Like you've said, again, the last, maybe not season before last, but we've seen in seasons with Liverpool where we've only beaten by 1 point. This could be where we open up that gap to 3 or 4 and not have to shit ourselves going into the last game. So before we wrap it up, Joe, how important do you think it can be?
Yeah, we need as many opportunities to get forward and up the pitch as possible. Like, it's only going to help having more options because, well, if we're going to hit a long ball and they're playing a higher line, does their line drop? If their line drops, we've got more space to be able to just carry the ball forward from midfield. It's always useful to have multiple options to move forwards with the ball, and we're not we're not spoilt for choice, are we? We've got so many players who could do so many different things, who have so many, qualities about them that are maybe different from the rest. It depends what you want for that game. Same thing with Alvarez and Haaland. What would you rather have? Haaland's obviously going to be better at holding up the ball, winning aerial duels, just because he's really tall, he can jump really high. But Alvarez probably has a bit better movement because he's a bit sharper, he's a bit quicker, nimble, agile, that sort of player. So it's, what do you want? Will you play both? That's, the question that we didn't see the 5 back that we all sort of, well, me and you at least, thought we might see. But I think that was just due to fitness, to be honest. Like, Haaland was never going to play a full game, and Alvarez was, obviously going to play the majority with him not being fully fit. The lap was there as well, so you had that other player there who was going to get a few minutes. So we may see it. I'm not too sure, to be honest.
Eventually we will. We will see it at least once during the season. We will see a 5 back with them 2 up front.
Probably, yeah. But I mean, again, like you said, it creates a space because we're no longer having that player drop off from the forward line. Create space for Cancelo to do whatever he wants. We saw how good he was when he's basically allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants. Like, go wherever he wants. We saw how good he is when he does that. So it gives him the freedom. It gives Walker the freedom to, again, do what he wants. We know he's not the best attacking and going forward, but again, like, he can move wherever he wants around the pitch, whether he wants to invert or overlap Mahrez. It doesn't really matter. And again, it gives us the versatility to play a centre-half at full-back if we're short for options, because if we are going to stick with that 3 at the back where our full-back inverts, then it opens up an opportunity to say, well, maybe Stones could play right-back, Ake could play at left-back, stuff like that, where it opens up where we don't really need a natural full-back because the way we build up doesn't really require to have 2. So again, that's going to help, especially early on with the way this Cucurella deal's dragging on. Like, it's so many tactical tweaks, these little small changes. They're only very small changes, but they can make a big difference. And I'm just really excited to see what sort of concoction Pep cooks up early on in the season, because, I mean, things could get really wild really quickly. We know what he's like, pragmatic. We know he likes to change things. We know he likes to tinker with things, but if Haaland keeps fit, then my word, what a season this could be.
Yeah, no, that's kind of it. We just wanted to come on and say, like, this is what you can offer. This is what finally having a recognised number 9 can do for this team. It can open up so many new lanes to go down. But we've had our say. What did you think of his 40-minute cameo? Did you think it was good? Do you think he can be better? He can definitely be better. Do you think he's opening up these areas for improvement? I really think he is. Look, we'll leave it there. This will be the last video I think you'll see before Liverpool. Maybe you could even see after Liverpool, but we never know what happens. It's a funny week. But thanks very much for watching. We're pushing 3K, but we're kind of aiming to get it before the start of the season. So if this comes out before the start of the season, do what you can. Push it, share it, like it, comment. Do anything you can to get it into the algorithm. Thanks very much for watching. We're excited. I hope you're excited. We'll see you in the next one.